Okay, so I want to take the opportunity to walk you guys through how to do these homework problems first by hand. So I've got my iPad over here, and I'll be working with that with my pencil in my messy handwriting. So I'm going to take you through how to work some of them through by hand, and then I'm going to show you how to use Excel to make your life easier, and then I'm going to show you there's one of the homework problems is pretty challenging, right? So I'm going to show you how to get started on that one. So that's where we're at. I'm going to make these brief, one concept at a time. And so yeah, let's get going. So the first thing I want to show you is if you look down here in this pinned resources, there's a link to the ebook. So I'm going to get out of student view because if I click this link, it doesn't take me anywhere. I'm going to get out of student view so that I can show you the ebook, and you might want to use that for a resource rather than sticking entirely with the videos. Okay, so here is the ebook, and if you look, we are in chapter 1, and we're going to be doing, I think maybe the first 4 chapters and then a few chapters out here, but we're in chapter 1 right now. And if you look up here in this corner, it'll get you to the table of contents. And if you go down through the table of contents, you'll see the exercises at the end of the book. And the Cengage homework that I've assigned for you is actually these exact exercises. Not all of them, obviously. So if you look at your Cengage homework and then you look over here in the book, right? So this first one is exercise 1-05. So if we go through these exercises, right, it's the same thing. Look at, you've got over here in the book, you've got assets equals liability plus equity. And here you've got assets equals liability plus equity. And there are 3 examples, okay? So you can go through the examples in the book and sort of check yourself before you come over here. Now these are what are called algorithmic. That means that these numbers are going to be different for everyone, right? So you can call your buddies and get them to help you with solving this out, but the numbers are going to be different. But then I'll show you how to solve it out, right? And then the other thing is in the book, they give you a check figure so you can test whether you know how to do it before you go in here and submit the homework, okay? So that's kind of how we want to get going with this. Now what I'm going to do, get this off of here, and what I'm going to do is show you how to solve out these first few problems that are just the accounting equation. I'm going to write on my iPad over here. So pardon my messy handwriting, please. Okay, so if I remember from the balance sheet, right, the balance sheet is set up and we do all of our tracking of transactions, which we'll get to in the next semester, in the next module. So we do everything. We do all of our recording of transactions such that assets always equal liabilities plus equity, right? And so all this first problem is just an opportunity for you to practice that. So let's just run through, example A in the book. So we have x equals, and I'm a little lazy when we're talking about lots of zeros, right? So I'm going to just simplify this a little bit. So x equals 175 plus 300, and then that's quite simple that the answer there is 475, right? So that's about as simple as it gets. That's how you do the accounting equation. Now some of these problems or these exercises become a little bit more complicated, but at its heart, that's all we're doing here when we're doing the accounting equation. Now scrolling down to exercise 1.09, I want to kind of give you a heads up that this becomes a little more complicated, right? So Here we have the same thing, right? We've got assets, liabilities, and equity, and you just need to calculate that number. Easy, just like we did over here, right? But the second half of that is we want to calculate our profit or loss, right? Remember that net income is profit, and it's revenues or sales minus expenses. And so all you do to solve this out, right, is you just take your sales, 22 million in this example, and it'll be a different number for your example, and you just, subtract out all the rest of these expenses to get to your profit. So that's how you do the first few quantitative homework problems by hand, okay? Okay.